Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. I am your host, Ali Aruda, and I am joined by your favorite co-host on this show, Matt Aruda.
That's me.
Do you think I need to intro you every time? Or do you think
No, I think I should just at that. It's funny you say that because I was about to be like, and I'm Matt Aruda, and that's it.
Yeah, maybe you know we're going to workshop some new ideas, you guys, and we're going to circle back. But for today,
and I live here.
Yeah, for today, that's what you got, and I hope you're going to love this episode because we're excited to share some thoughts from today's episode. I just got back from a recent trip to California, and we have had a super productive day. At the time of this recording, it is a Tuesday. So we've had a full productive Monday, a full productive Tuesday, which has felt great because
we're not done. We got a client or a trainer meeting in about 30 minutes from now. So
we're still going. The workday is not done, but it feels really good after being out of routine to get back into routine. And I know there is a ton of you that hear me on this and you feel really seen right now. So this is for all my routine peeps. We are talking back to our nutrition routine, our sleep routine, our workout routine, and our workday routine.
Mm-hmm. Even just having personal time with each other and you know what that looks like from a communication standpoint and all the rest. These are all little things that we once we're removed from it, we realize, maybe not all of us, but we realize how important routine is for us.
Yeah. Like I came back Friday night, Matt picked me up at the airport and we went on a date together to the Jays game and like called it in for some nice quality time that evening, which actually resulted in a lot of quality time in the car.
A shit ton of quality time since it took 4 hours to get there and back. So yeah, amazing.
But that is not the point of today's episode. Today's episode is all about investing in opportunity and really seeing and playing the long game. And there are going to be some things here that we talk about that is not uncommon for us to talk about on this show. But I think it's great for you to hear on repeat because these are some really powerful key messages and something that has been really transformative for us in our life, business, friendships. And we just feel really excited and passionate about sharing and talking about on a regular basis.
And there's some poignant examples I think we're going to chat through. And you mentioned off the top that you just came back after spending, 72 hours?
Yeah, I was there. I flew in on
Beach?
Tuesday to a Friday.
Yeah, so you were in and out, and obviously, yes, we do love Newport Beach. Yes, you love Newport Beach. But this was not just a go to Newport for the sake of Newport. That wouldn't make a ton of sense, especially considering the amount of flying time that it took you to get there with connections and delays and cancellations. And goodness, you were a trooper to get there, but you did. But why don't you share high level why it is that you were there?
So we have some great friends that live down there. And the irony is that Matt and I were actually in Newport Beach for 4th of July. It was my first time celebrating the 4th and it was really, really fun. Very different experience than here. And it was lovely to see and feel and be in that energy. And we got to celebrate your birthday in Newport Beach. And while we were there, our friend Lori and I already knew about these dinners that she was getting ready to throw. And if you listen to the Earn Your Happy podcast, you've probably heard Lori Harder, the host, talk about this or talk about it on her social, where she wanted to host some high level female entrepreneur dinners, all about networking and connection, but also an opportunity to lean in to really gain some expansive, deep friendships. And that all resonated with me so much. And I remember hearing her talk about it on her content, but also sharing it with me in real time. And we were talking about it over that weekend when Matt and I were there. And she's like, I always feel so bad making you travel back and forth, but I'd really love you to be there. And I had actually experienced major imposter syndrome for like 2 days while we were down there. And I was like, why would I go? Like, what would I contribute? I feel like I'd be playing so small. Like, I would love to be there, but I want to ensure I'm providing value to all these amazing women. And we are talking women that are presidents of really incredible female founded beauty brands. They are really expansive doctors. You have some celebrities there. So I just felt really small and I was really experiencing a lot of imposter syndrome. And thanks to a good 1 hour chat with Matt and Chris, I got to the point where I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? 100%. I'm totally coming back for this. And I am so glad I did. And this is the first lesson here, guys, is having people in your life, in your corner, that is going to kick you back in the game when you experience things like imposter syndrome. So because of having an hour in the car, Chris was so nice to drive us to the airport when we were there visiting, that I got to have this 1 hour visit with Chris, and obviously Matt and I were going home together. But having people in your corner that are like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Of course you should be there. This is what you would be able to provide value on. And just having those people that really believe in you to kick you back in the game when you're experiencing something like I did with imposter syndrome, or you're having a challenge in your business, in a relationship, in life, in whatever the case may be, but having those people that are going to have your back and kick you back in the game. So I am so grateful for you and Chris for being my cheer squad in that conversation. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm coming back. So Matt and I had boarded our flight home. We flew out of LA and boarded our flight home, and I was already looking at flights. And before we took off out of California, I had my flights booked to come back days later. And I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, and I think the important part here is that you're deciding to go back and to commit to 72 hours isn't so much so as to be able to squeeze every bit of juice that you can from those 72 hours. It's as a means of introducing yourself to a different group of people, as well as entrenching yourself with a similar or familiar group of people, i.e. Lori, obviously Lindsay was there too, and you've got some girlfriends who are already there that you're already creating incredible relationships with. But you playing the long game in that you are planting seeds now with people that you're just meeting for the first time, that maybe you do want to explore what it would look like to have certain friendships, relationships, so on and so forth for years to come. That doesn't happen until you make the conscientious decision to commit to something.
And that was actually something, to your point, and I'm glad you brought that up, is that I have been in a season where I'm craving different things from my female friendships. And some of that is actually deeper connections and deeper conversations and really being on that same page from a frequency standpoint. And I had to make the choice of like, I know where I am craving that and where I can find that. And so it's like, yeah, I had to get on an airplane to go be in that energy. But this is one of the things that we're talking about when you are investing in opportunity, and 100% that comes from investing in opportunity for business and growth and expansion. But that also might look different, and it might be from a friendship standpoint. And I saw that opportunity and I chose to make that investment of my time, of my money, of my energy. And I am just sitting in so much gratitude that I did, because in those 72 hours, I was not only able to go to this incredibly special dinner, but I was also able to do a Pilates class and a spin class and coffee and walks and like getting ready with two of my girlfriends for this event to just have like a little glass of wine and put on our makeup together and having that quality girlfriend time that isn't a regular thing for me in my life at home right now. And that's okay. I recognize that. But when I could be in that moment, it just was so special for me. And I have total gratitude for being in that. And then from the event standpoint itself, I remember texting Matt and just saying like, this is like a dream. And one of the notes I want to make here for you guys that also I think is a powerful takeaway is getting really clear on your dreams. And who is it that you want to be in rooms with? Who is it that you want to be friends with? Who is it that you want to do business with? If you can get really clear on that, and it might take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years to achieve that, but you are going to have to take some action in order to make all of that come true, because it is like a wish, it is a dream, and you are going to have to take action to move the needle to get there.
That's correct. So I think once you get into anything that you're looking to create for a long-term vision of yourself, like any other investment, you can't recognize that the ROI, or at least the peak of the ROI, is something that's achieved or realized shortly thereafter. You don't invest into your quote unquote retirement fund in year one thinking you got enough to retire off of it in year two, or year five, or year 15 for that matter. You're going to have to ensure that you've got the mindset already in place that the long term is what you've signed up for. And I think the best results in any investment, and obviously financial is the one I'm talking about here, but the investment in any friendship, in any relationship, the greatest return on that is based on how long you're willing to let that play. And the longer that you're in that game, the stronger your returns are, entirely based off of the time that you're putting in to strengthen those investments from day one through all the way until the very end. I come from a background in sales for near 17, 18 years. And the formula is the same, at least at the highest level of the success that I've achieved. The formula hasn't changed from what day one was, in that you invest in people's well-being and wanting to make sure that you're offering as much value as you can to them, whether they're paying you or not, just that you are pouring into what makes life easier or better for them. And when that time comes to think about what it is that you offer, they're not ever going to look anywhere else because they already know, like, and trust you. So the ability to then do business with you or to create a part of their life with you, it becomes second nature.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know we've definitely shared this on the show before in episodes we've done together, but we've heard a brilliant man speak. His name's Jeff Fenster. He's an incredibly accomplished entrepreneur. And we heard him speak at an event. It was Kristen Lori Harder's event last year that we invested in going to. And he spoke about relationship capital and the difference between deposits and withdrawals, which I feel like is a perfect transition from what you're talking about long-term investments. That deposits, you want to make constant or continuous deposits in that relationship that you want to nurture before you even think about making withdrawals. And so I will use my friendship with Lori as an example, that for years I was listening to her podcast, I read her book, and I really loved that content. So I shared it, whether it was on my socials or with people directly. I was so happy to share it and, link the episode here, tag her here. Then we had the opportunity to invest in her company, Glossy, very proud investor, very excited, and going to events. So making all of these deposits that was building this relationship. And what has come from it is this really beautiful friendship. And I am so grateful for that. And now that has transitioned to me being able to go to this amazing dinner, being surrounded by 20 plus powerhouse women that gave me the opportunity to create new relationships that I can grow and foster and nurture and focus on making deposits in them before I even think about looking to make a withdrawal. And I think that the sooner you can look at your life, maybe you do a little audit with some of your relationships of where can you focus on making deposits before you make those withdrawals. And then you are going to be a relationship capital powerhouse. And that is a massive needle mover when it comes to growing your business, growing your brand, and absolutely growing your network.
And I think also, we're talking about relationship capital here being an important part of what it is that you're cultivating as you move this through. But you have to also remember that with you choosing the kind of people that you're choosing to invest in, obviously you are getting a ton of personal gold from them in the time that you spend with them and the ability to connect with them on a deeper level. But also remember that if you're conscientious about who it is that you're choosing to pour into, who it is you're choosing to invest in, the byproduct of their success becomes you picking up a lot of nuggets that led them down that path to be as successful as they were in whatever path. And I don't just even mean successful in the way of what they do for a living. It's in how they choose to live their lives that you take from and realize, well, shit, that might be more important than what I anticipated it would be. So, for some of our friends who I've seen in the course of the last few years really prioritize memory making with their family. And so they do the things and they spend the money to ensure that what's high on their list of priorities is the ability to create the time that creates the memories. And those are the things that are invaluable. And then I look back at, over the course of our last couple of years and us implementing that in our world, whether that be just a year and a half ago, we decided to surprise my parents in Portugal for their wedding anniversary. And we were only there for 3 days, and we would have loved to have stayed longer, but it wasn't in the cards for us from a scheduling standpoint. But we still did it because we knew the memories would be amazing. You typically go away with your mom at least twice a year, and all over the world, typically down south where it's warm in the winter, but you're still prioritizing those blocks of time to spend uninterrupted quality time with your mom outside of just, maybe grabbing a coffee here or there or catching up on the phone here or there. So these are just little things that obviously accumulated over a lifetime create a tremendous amount of wealth in a different way. Those are the nuggets that for us, we've picked up along the way, in addition to all kinds of incredible business acumen. But these are also the things that you pick up that you realize, well, shoot, this holds just as much value too. And you don't get those unknown bonuses until you've decided to commit in the first place.
I want to just circle back here with the idea of long game value creation. And I want to give a shout out to our friends Karen and David from Coat and Kind. It is a husband and wife duo, which we love that, and we really relate to that. And they have a really beautiful handmade candle company, candles, diffusers, and they have been so consistently supportive of work that we do, especially when it comes to our events. And I am now seeing it be this amazing opportunity that is like reciprocity for them, that they have chosen more than once, more than twice to be a part of some of our events. They have made the investment to be there, time, energy, money. And one of the last events that they were at, that resulted in them having a meeting. And, sure, the being a part of the event can get you in the room, quote unquote, but then they had to do the work to create the connection and have that first impression and get the meeting booked.
Sorry, the meeting was with whom?
Was with the venue host.
There you go.
And the venue host has retail products that's typically very local, which is amazing. I love to see that. And so they had this meeting, and the meeting went really well. And the venue host has made an investment in their candles, and they will be retailing their candles for holiday 2025.
And that's something that they never had on their bingo card at the beginning of the year. They showed up to our events, to your events, for the ability of nothing other than just wanting to be part of our community, wanting to support us, making some connections, introducing their very, very strong product to people who might not necessarily have found it as quickly or as easily. And along the way in doing so, they just happened to say yes to an event that we ran in June. They took a flyer on it. And here we are a month and a half later. And now this venue is going to carry their line of products in their own space. Talk about a win-win for everybody, right?
Absolutely. When I got that message from her, it just made me so happy. And I think when you are also working in alignment, you are working with people, products, brands, companies that you really believe in and that you connect with, you absolutely become a champion and a cheerleader for those people, the people that are behind the brand and the product. And this is something that I talk about so passionately when it comes to working with partnerships and brands, is I want to be a champion for you. And I really believe in this husband and wife duo. I love their products. We actually just did.
And they're good friggin' people.
Oh, they're good people.
More importantly than any of this, yes, they have awesome products. We literally have, a dozen of them in our house right now. As
we have some exciting things coming
throughout our washrooms in here. They're in our bathrooms in the gym. So we believe in the product. But outside of that, and maybe more importantly, not maybe, for sure more important than that, is they're just really good people. So to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, that when the opportunity comes for their product to potentially be showcased in anything that we have connection to, you better believe the only people we're thinking about is them.
Absolutely. And I think this is such a beautiful example of playing the long game.
Yep.
They've made this investment, again, time, energy, money.
For a couple of years now.
Yes, and playing the long game. And I think that we live in a society that is so instant. We all love Instagram, and the first half of that word is Insta. And it's instant. And people are looking for that instant gratification. And it is so quick and easy for people to forget that You have to make those investments in that relationship capital, playing that long game. You have to be patient. Even in the world of sales and marketing, you throw something up one time and you're like, why did nobody buy it? Why is my event not sold out? And guys, I throw events all the time and I'm like, Matt, why didn't no one buy my event tickets? Like, you are so patient. You hear that all the time. But it is also the long game that if I'm going to host this event, I'm going to have to show people more than like 11 times. You want to have that consistent touch point with people. And I think that's just a really powerful reminder when it comes to business, growing your network, building those relationships, knowing and understanding, but you have to do it authentically to play that long game.
I completely agree.
No notes?
That's everything I got on that one. Yes, long game obviously is what we're talking about here today. So I guess without beating a dead horse on this and understanding more than what it is that we've, I think, been clear on this up to this point, yeah, you in order for you to reap the rewards of a long-standing, deep-rooted relationship, you have got to play the game for more than just a quarter, more than just an inning. Mm-hmm. You have to play it all out in order to get the results that you're looking for, that you're working towards.
And one thing I just want to add here as we tie a bow on this episode is that you guys are the driver's seat of what you want your life to look like. If you are looking to build a stronger network, if you are looking to collect higher level friendships and relationships, you have to do the work. You have to go to the rooms. You have to make that investment of where those people are. You have to go to the places where those people hang out. Maybe you need to switch your gym. Maybe you need to switch your coffee shop and put yourself in that environment. No one is coming to save you. It is not going to come to you.
One more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, no one is coming to save you. And the sooner that you can take action on that, the sooner you will call in the things that you want, the things and people that you desire.
And this is an uncomfortable part of anybody's realization that it's time for them to level up. Mm-hmm. Because if it feels like you are just in sand, that you're moving your legs, but you're not getting further ahead than where you were a few months ago, then you need to realistically ask yourself, what is the part that can be changed that hasn't changed in however many months or years up to that point? And the very difficult realization almost every time is who and what are your surroundings? Because if they have not changed and your results have not changed, regardless of what your effort has been up to that point, you can't expect anything else to change if nothing new is happening. Am I wrong?
No, I was just going to say, like, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah.
So if you want to call on these things, then you have to take action. And going back to...
That's tough.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
That means really hard conversations. That means really hard realizations for you personally speaking, these aha moments that might not feel great because you know the hard thing to do is the right thing to do. But it doesn't mean that it's an easy thing for you to then go and execute. But at the other side of that difficult decision, on the other end of that difficult execution, becomes the ability for you to walk faster, which then allows you to jog and then run.
Mm-hmm. And we're excited for you. You know, we've been working through this for the last couple of years. And sometimes, yeah, you have to make hard decisions. You have to have some hard conversations. But what is on the other side of that is so freaking exciting and beautiful. And we want that for you. And if you can't necessarily go and seek that out, create it. Create what you want. You want to host this beautiful dinner with a bunch of amazing entrepreneurs? Do it.
Potluck it. It doesn't even have to cost you anything, for goodness sake.
Wine and cheese. That's a very different price point. Yep. But you have to take the action. And that's kind of the massive lesson here is you have to make the effort and take the action to invest in that long game, whether it be business, whether it be relationships. You have to make that first step and do the uncomfortable and go for it.
I'll end by saying this. The other people on the other side of whom it is that you're looking to create this relationship with, they're looking for it the exact same way that you are. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so as open to receiving you once you show up. So know that, while it's difficult for you to make the first step, that is going to be the most difficult part of the whole thing. Because once you put yourself out there, there are plenty, trust me, plenty of people who have been waiting for you to show up this entire time so that they can then show how they can be helpful to you right back.
And if you need some help and support with that, you guys, connect with us. We have opened up a few spots to coach together. So you would get to be a one-on-one client with Matt and I together. That's as exciting. Your mindset coaches, which we would just love to support you because we are products of that product, that we still invest in coaching and masterminds and support. And if one-on-one doesn't feel aligned for you, then secure one of the limited spots in our August 14th, one day. It's like one day mastermind. It's Thursday, August 14th. It's at Westcott Vineyards in beautiful Ontario wine country. And that one day will get you the clarity and the expansion that you need to level up. And if you in business, maybe you're just a little stuck or stagnant in business, but you need some support, then this one day mastermind will be the exact kick in the ass, I say that with love, that you need.
We all need it every now and then. And yes, you have the strength and the power of what the last few years of us getting in all kinds of other rooms will mean. The thousands and thousands of dollars that we have absolutely intentionally and happily spent in order for us to have the clarity that we have. Hopefully, this is the kind of representation that we will bring to the room. But more importantly than that will be the fact that there's going to be another almost dozen other people, different walks of life, different industries that all bring their own incredible little recipes of success themselves in their own walk of life that makes for the entire cocktail to work.
So we'll have all of that information in the show notes. If you want to connect with us directly for one-on-one coaching, we will include that as well. And until next time, thank you so much for being here. We love you. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.